Today's video is all about saying no to the naysayers. You are limited by what you think you can do and what you know you can do. I'm limited by what I know I can do. What's up everybody, it's your girl TK and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about saying no to the naysayers. So basically, I am an extremely goal-orientated person. About a year ago, I made the decision that I wanted to try YouTube, and it's literally taken me an entire year before I even managed to upload a YouTube-worthy video. So I think it's really important for you guys to know that I didn't just wake up one day, open up the camera, and then start recording, and it worked out. Like, man, it took me a whole year of like writing down ideas, trying them, but when I was on camera, I felt like this really negative person was being transferred onto film. So like I was a very negative and resentful person, and I just wasn't comfortable with releasing the videos that I was filming at that time. I had to do a lot of work on myself so that the message that I could get across was always positive. And yeah, it took a lot of work on my behalf to even just get to this point. So yeah, I have like literally loads and loads and loads of failed content in this book, but I'm completely happy to make mistakes. Mistakes are inevitable in success. If you don't want to make mistakes, then you don't want to be successful. And I'm quite happy to make mistakes. I just don't like making dumb ones, you know, dumb mistakes. Necessary mistakes, yes. Dumb mistakes, absolutely not. So in the process of working on myself and doing all of this stuff on myself, I feel like I've positioned myself to be grateful. Like I have introduced a habit of being grateful. I wrote down 200 things that I wanted last year, and a few weeks ago I went through that 200 things and I ticked off the things that I had managed to achieve, accomplish, or acquire, because that's what the 200 things are. And one of the things that I have on my list is Botox. I wanted to get Botox, and so I got Botox the next day, actually, after taking everything off, because a girlfriend of mine was having a Botox party. Shout outs to you, girlfriend. And yeah, it was like, I was so stoked. It kicked in maybe 3 or 4 days after I got it, and I remember looking at myself and being like, oh, I'm feeling myself. And so I was like really happy with it, right? So I called somebody in New Zealand just for like a general chit chat, and we're talking, and they're like, oh, how are you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing really good. And I told them about the 200 things that I had written down, and I told them about how I had managed to tick some of those things off, and one of the things was I got Botox. Wow, this person just ranted on about all of the things that was wrong with Botox, that I was gonna need 3 facelifts at least now, and like I'm gonna look terrible in a few years, and it's just horrible, and like she knows so many people who have done it and they just wish they'd never touched it, and I was like, I really like how I look, like I'm liking it, you know? And she was like, well, you will like it now, but it's not gonna be that case in the future. And like, yeah, it just went on and on, right? And so I'm kind of like, we're not FaceTiming either, so she can't see me. We're completely having a voice conversation, and I am not getting hurt feelings, but I'm definitely like confused as to why this person feels like their negative opinion on what I have already done to myself is valid, if that makes sense. Like, why do you feel like this is necessary? Why do you feel like you're okay to do that, you know? And I knew instantly that if I hadn't done the work on myself that I've already started to do, that I would have gone straight to the mirror and looked at myself and probably gone, oh my gosh, I've made such a big mistake. But I honestly was just like, I'm so separated from this message. A, we're not having a FaceTime conversation, so you can't even see me, sis. And 2, like, it's just all negative. You've never done it. And it's number 3, it's just an opinion. And I am limited by what I think, not what anybody else thinks. And for me, I think I look good. So it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, because when I look in the mirror, this is the person that I see and I think I look good. I mean, nobody else is allowed to tell you how you should feel about something. You know, you should never allow somebody else to make you feel some type of way based on what they think. Another example of this, right? My cousin is buying a Range Rover. So she's all teed up to buy a Range Rover. She's been checking them out. And I mean, she's done some work on making sure that this is a possible thing for her. So I feel like she's taken some really clever steps. And I was talking to her about it, and I was like, dude, there's gonna be people that tell you like, oh, a Range Rover is for rich people, you know, for people that are making 6 figures. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be spending 40 grand on a car. You should be doing this with your money. You should be smart with your money. You should do this with your money. And it's like, I just said to her, like, if you know that you have done the work in order to make this decision possible for you, and like, you know that you can do it, then do it. Don't let anybody else steal your excitement. You are limited by what you know you can do. So if you know you can buy a Range Rover, buy a Range Rover. Don't let anybody come to you and tell you you shouldn't buy a Range Rover, you're going to be in such debt, or you're going to do this, or you're going to do that. Because if that changes your mind, and that like, that poison sinks into your soul kind of thing, then like, that excitement and that thing that you worked really hard to achieve is just taken from you, just like that. But if you know you can do it, then do it. And then drive past them in your Range Rover while they're at the bus stop and be like, hey girl, hey, and don't let them ride in your car. Do you know what I mean? Because if people want to talk about you and your decisions and your goals and stuff like that, then they just don't deserve space in your life. So, one more quick example of this is like, say for example, you're a manager in a retail shop, right? And one day you're like, I actually think that I'm going to go for the store manager's job. And all of a sudden you've done a lot of work on yourself in order to get to a position where you feel like, I can do this. I know that I can do this. It's possible for me. And then your co-workers turn around and they're like, oh well, you can't take sick days and your sick days are pretty high and like blah 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 blah. And they start telling you the reasons why it's not possible for you to achieve that goal. That is not your limitation. Your limitation is what you think you can achieve and what you know you can achieve. So if you know you can achieve it, don't let them tell you that you can't do it, okay? What you have to do is, you have to tell yourself like, okay, cool, that's the limitations that they live by. They're speaking to themselves right now. They're not even speaking to me. They see me going to achieve it and they're like, well, hold on a second, I'm not in a position to achieve that, so you can't be in a position to achieve that. You know? It's not even about you, it's about them. So you have to really like position yourself where you are so focused on what you want that you're not going to let anybody tell you that you can't have it. And that's honestly what I am doing. Like, if somebody turns around and says like, oh my gosh, have you seen her YouTube channel? She's never gonna make it. She's never gonna do anything. Well, like, then I know that they're never gonna make it. They're never gonna do anything, you know? But they're not speaking to me. They're speaking to themselves. It goes back to that same message that I spoke about in last week's videos, that like, when people say these kinds of things, like sometimes, you know, sometimes people say things and they're telling you their limitations by their experiences, but you have a whole new experience. They don't even know everything that you've done to get to where you are. They don't know about all the work. They don't know about all of the ins and outs, and then they feel like they're allowed to give you their opinion, and then all of a sudden you're going to take that on board, and now that thing that you were so close to has just gone and gone. For what? You know what I mean? You just can't let people like that steal from you. You just can't. You are limited by what you think you can do and what you know you can do. I'm limited by what I know I can do. I'm limited by what what I can envision for myself. That's what I'm going to achieve. And if anybody's going to tell me that I can't achieve it, well, when I achieve it, they're not like coming with me, you know? I just think that, like, in order to say no to the naysayers, you have to be willing to do the work on yourself first. You have to be willing to put yourself in a position where, like, you're just grinding. And when people come and say things about your journey or about what you're up to or about your face and what you put in it, like, you just have to know what you decided to do and what you want, you know? I wanted to try Botox, and I think I look good with it. Do I think I'm gonna look bad when the Botox is gone? Nah. Do I think I have to keep getting Botox from now on? Nah. But I wanted to try it, so I tried it. Simple. Nobody's gonna make me feel ugly. Do you know what I mean? And nobody's gonna stop me from achieving things. If I want something, I'm going to go and get it, no matter how many people tell me it's impossible. My dad achieved so much, and people told him that it wasn't possible. He was just a little Māori boy from New Zealand, from a little place called Massey in Auckland, and he ended up being one of the biggest names in New Zealand. So nobody's gonna tell me that I can't do something because I've watched my dad do it, and now I'm gonna do it, and now I get to show my parents that I can do it too. Not that they don't believe in me, like, honestly, my parents are like my biggest fans, but I can't wait to show them, like, you gave me the ability to do this. So I like to tune into the fans and to the positive voices and just tune out of the negative stuff, because if people want to say that you can't do things, you know the limitations that they live within. They limit themselves to things, and you can't be limited by what they think. You can just show them that, hey, I did it, you know? Please don't go and buy a Range Rover if it's $900 repayments every week and you make $1,000 a week. Then that's probably not, you know, the smartest decision to make. I'm not saying go and do it. Go and do it. Don't let the naysayers, if somebody's giving you good advice and telling you, oh, you know what, it's probably not living within your means to go and get this, and you're like, oh, that's naysayer. No, it's not. That's good advice. Okay, don't be that person. But if you know that you have, like, put mahi in, put work in to your efforts, and you're almost there, you can almost taste it, and then there's people that will go, like, okay, so the last example that I'm going to use, right, when I did my Big W haul, I really wanted Big W to, like, pick it up and sponsor it, and people were like, oh, it's not going to happen because you don't have the followers. So many people said that to me. Did I get sponsored by Big W? No, I didn't. They haven't seen the video yet, I don't even think. But it didn't limit me. It didn't make me feel like, oh man, I wish I had more followers and maybe I should just, like, give up. Maybe I should just quit. Like, nah. All it made me think was, like, that was a great video, and I'm just going to keep pumping out the next ones and the next ones, and something's going to pay off. I definitely know that eventually this whole thing is going to pay off because I'm disciplined with it, I have goals, and no one's going to tell me that I can't do something. No one's going to limit me to anything. It doesn't matter that I don't have 1 million followers. One day, I'll have 1 million followers. I am not limited by what other people say. Eventually it's all going to happen for me, and eventually it can all happen for you. But just know that when you start achieving your goals, when you start setting goals and going for them, people are going to come against you and tell you that you can't do it, and you have to be so set in your own head that you cannot let people steal that from you. It is so important for you to believe in your dream in order for it to be successful. I don't have like a, oh, when they do this, you know, when naysayers come, you have to do this. And this will make you feel better. Like, I don't really have a strategy for you other than do the work on yourself. Be disciplined with it. Be grateful for the things that you have. Write down your goals. Stick to them. And when people tell you that you can't do it, know that you can. And go and do it. That is so important. There's so many people out there that are so held back by fear and naysayers that they never ever released their God-given talent. They never even try. They care so much about what all these little haters think that they never even do it. And it's like, babe, why? You know? Go and do it. Don't let anybody hold you back. Frozen face and all, sis. Go for it. You know? So, I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's very intense video. But, thank you so much for your time. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I will be releasing videos every week. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at IamTK. And yeah, thank you so much for your time. Love ya.